Good evening. Good evening, people. Happy Memorial Day. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Thank you. And I hope everybody has a good Memorial Day. And I went to hello, Yoken. Yes, I got my socks on. Well, I went to Charlestown today. I did do a live stream. Hello there. Welcome back. I done a live stream of the Memorial Day up on the city square, and I should have asked them why they're having it up here instead of the cemetery. And but I did. I did cut some grass today, and it's wet as it can be out there. And well, if you want to save money, you can go to Tractor Supply and get what they call horse pellets. If you want to do that, you know, hello ABCD. Okay. Hello Lavender Moon. I like lavender. Man, I gave people all kinds of tips. Go to Tractor Supply. It's about $5 to $7 for a bag of horse pellets. They call it horse pellets bedding. It's pine. A regular sized cat box. You need like the fast food restaurants. You only need to put 2 cups in it, and maybe sprinkle a half a cup of cat litter in it until they get used to it. Your house will smell a whole lot better. You can use those when it turns into sawdust. You can sprinkle it around your flowers, and you know. But people, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I thought my mother died in 17. I'm so sorry. That's what happens. Well, just use horse pellets well, kittens ain't too bad. You know, you just have to look on the cat litter boxes and pick up the baby kitty cats and put them in there. And people, let's get back to my mistakes. You know, while I went to Charlestown, before I went up to the town square, I stopped in the cemetery and talked to my mother. I looked down at, my dad, my mom, and mom died in 15. I'm sorry. She been dead 11 years this year. I thought she died in 17, but it was 2015. I admit when I'm wrong. It's, I don't think I got an empty bag in the living room. Let me go in there and look if I can get up. Go in there and look, see if I can find an empty bag. Probably can't find any because I've been cleaning up. So let me go in there and look and see if I can find an empty bag. Okay, I'm back. People, here it is. Tractor Supply horse pill. And it says super assortment, reduced cleaning time, natural orders, no chemicals. It's a 40-pound bag. Pitted bedding for horses and small animals. So, that's it. It's a. I left my light on out in the living room. Let me go out and turn that off. What? You gonna come in here and sleep with me? Come on, let's go back in the bedroom. Okay, I missed my kitty cat. Yeah. See, your daughter is in here and your granddaughter. You tell your mama hi? Tell your mama. See, this is Margaret. There's your grandbaby. Give your mama a bath. I love kitty cats. And people, I was watching the video. I watched a bunch of them today. And this is for your ladies who's pregnant. I want to give you some ideas. Maybe you got a dog or a cat, or you live on a farm. Let your dog or cat up on your belly. Let them smell your belly. Let them know that you got a baby there. Animals can understand stuff. And I seen women on videos who's pregnant. The horse comes up her and smell her belly, or a dog. Animals can tell when you're pregnant. Even if you got kitty cats, if you don't let them get involved, you're gonna have some few surprises. Instead of using the cat box and going outside, they might just do it there. But have them involved, when you're pregnant. A dog might lay his head or her head on your belly. And same thing as a kitty cat. You know, I've been around cats, but after watching some videos of pregnant women with dogs and cats and horses and cows, you know, that's what, you know, that's up to you. But because if you got a dog and you let them know that you got a baby in your belly, and after you bring it home from the hospital, the dog or cat will keep an eye on it and probably sleep there by the baby bed. They know things before you would know. They let you know if there's something wrong with the baby. That's only my opinion, but I've been around cats over 50 years and dogs. They can tell when there's something wrong, especially when a dog, cat, or horse or cow grows up with a baby. They will protect that baby. They might not let daddy close to the baby, but I want you ladies to think about it. I watched one of my neighbors, well, it's on the corner, and he bought his brother's house, and I knows this car in the driveway. I knew that belonged to his nephew, and I asked him, "Is your nephew living with you?" He said, "No, he passed away." Hello, RAE, welcome back. And he told me he passed away. He was in the hospital up at Seymour. Then they transferred him to Louisville. And he died like my dad did. He had fluid on his lungs. And he died. I didn't know it, or maybe I didn't see it in the county paper, but I can't remember his names. And he was in his 40s. And he had the zero turn. I was over watching him use a zero turn. And I was watching how he operates it in his yard. He got probably 2 acres. And the side yard on the north side, he couldn't cut. It's too wet. He got to be a smart aleck tonight. And he told me he just got 301 hours. It's out of warranty. I think this is his second year on it. It's a Hustler zero turn. People, I'm going to give you a little secret on any lawnmower, riding lawnmower or a zero turn. If you buy a new zero turn, or a riding lawnmower. Check for grease fittings, like on the zero turn. You got your shaft with your rubber tar on the front. It should have a grease fitting in it. If you know a good mechanic that will drill a hole and put a grease fitting in it, 'cause you got bearings in it. By you having grease fittings on them, it will last longer. Okay, check your mower deck. Your pulleys and your shaft. See if they got grease fittings on them. If they don't, you're going to have your mechanic on the bottom where your blades go, drill a hole and put grease fittings in it where you can grease those bearings. Because those things is over $100, and I'm trying to save you some money and what to look for. And if you got an acre of ground, 54 inches would be okay. Good evening. Thank you, RM. Thank you for your service. I guess Canada has a Memorial Day up in Canada. I done a video today of the Memorial Day service. And when they done the bam, I jumped when they shot it. I jumped. I'm gun shy. Most all your veterans is gun shy. But people, look at them lawnmowers. See what the mower deck is made out of. And the zero turns. You got the real heavy duty ones. They're high. Well, you made it in here. And it'll save you some money, people. Get that heavy duty mower deck. It's thicker than what you see on a John Deere or a Pushmore. It's kind of thin metal. And I tell you another secret that the mechanic that we had at the cemetery beside me, you wash it out real good. Take your putty knife, clean it out real good. Let it dry. And you go to like a Parks House, like Arshland or AutoZone, places like that, and get you some silicone spray. Spray that silicone spray all underneath your deck and let it dry. It'll keep your deck a little bit more healthier where it won't rust or, you know, do that, every at the beginning of the year when you sharpen your blade, make sure it's all clean. Spray that silicone spray all over your deck, and when it comes out, you shoot, and it makes the grass slide out quicker. I'm going to text somebody tomorrow because I didn't text him last week because he's been sick. And I'm going to tell him, I said, I need to cut my grass. I'm cutting some, and but, you know, see what he says. If he's still sick, I probably won't hear from him. That's how he is. and been picking up tree limbs and all this out in my front yard. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I go get the county newspaper. It comes out on Wednesday, but you can get it on Tuesday. I get me one of each county. Get my neighbors. If you was here, I could sit still. I could sit still and picking up Snowball. He's that cat outside. He was almost all white, but he he got a little black and a little yellow in him, but he's more white than he is anything. He's smart. I got my ladder that I got years ago from Harbor Freight. Oh man, it's like it by my roof where the kitty cats can climb that ladder and get on the roof and sleep at night. And Snowball also get on top of my chicken coop. And I know some of you ask, about a picture of Midnight Blue or Midnight Blue something. You can type it into your search engine and you see what it looks like. I think you get 500, 600 seeds in a bag. And you got another one I call Patriot. It's red, white, and blue. It looks like a American flag, but it's in the same family. Then the other ones in the same family, I forget what they call. They're like rainbows. You got all different colors. And I'm going to check next month, go on Amazon, see if I can get some of those seeds. And you know, flowers is beautiful. Welcome from Italy. Thank you for being here from Italy. I guess it's probably morning time, probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Italy. And I want to thank all the nurses people. You all know nurses. Your wife or girlfriend or might be a nurse. And I want you to give a special attention to the nurses. Oh, man, I didn't take my medicine this morning. And thank a nurse for their service. Because it takes a very special person to be a nurse in the hospital, male and female, to work in the ER, in the trauma, ICU, burn unit. You know what I'm talking about. Thank them for their service. RM's in here. He's probably on break time. He's a nurse in Canada. And I've never met him in person. and thank them for the service. To me, IRAE-C7R, welcome. And it takes a very special person to be a nurse. They're the first ones to see you when you come into the ER and even in the doctor's office. And they take your temperature, your blood pressure, your blood work. You know what I'm talking about. They're the first line of defense. And they type everything into the computer, plus they write it down. Well, the doctors will look at everything. And I want to add, besides the nurse or LPN or nurse practitioner, I forgot about nursing homes. In nursing homes, you got what they call a QMA. Uh, I think that's the family they are, Betty. Well, if I had a computer, I can show you the picture on my cell phone. But maybe I can download that picture and have it in my profile instead of my family crest. Maybe I could do that. Hello, Master. It'd be nice there, Matthew. Whatever you do, don't order third-party computers from Amazon, Walmart, and Newbie because you get taken. Because they use PC Online. Remember this name. The letter P, the letter C, online. Type it into your search engine. Hello, Lexi. And go down to the BBB, which is the Better Business Bureau. And you see over 200 complaints. That's what happened to me. It was an HP computer. It was a year old in February. And I screenshot everything when I bought it, the order number, the serial number, everything that I could on that computer before it got hijacked. You, I forget that term. It was being held hostage. Because PC Online download McAfee on it, and you people it's in the computers. You can always X out of programs or hit the escape button. When McAfee popped up, you could not X out, and you you couldn't hit the escape button. The only way you can get out of it, like you was going to buy it, then you can X out of it. After so many times, it locks you out of the computer. Ransomware, that's what I'm trying to say. And but I sent all that information to HP. It was a 17.1, I think, touch screen, 1 gigabyte of hard drive, a good graphics card. It was more like what you call a gaming computer. Thanks to the people on TikTok, X, Twitch, YouTube, they asked me what I was going to use it for. I told them maybe play some games, find find an edit software where I could edit some of my videos, and that's what they recommend. I think I got 16 megabytes of RAM or something. I know it was 16. But what HP told me, people, that since they upgraded it or modified it, it voided the warranty. And HP wouldn't cover it because they screwed it up. They sell every computer that they have on the market. HP, Dell, everything. Every computer they sell on the market, they upgrade it. Or it might be a used one. And and this guy had a desktop, paid over $2,000 for it. Yeah, they said, yeah, he gets his money back. Would you believe he got $200 or $300 back? They used the rest of it for stocking fees. That's how come PC Online is not that good. And I was trying to find another phone. You gotta move, Alexi. I got to lift my pillow up. You gotta move more down that way. And I had to set this up for Wi-Fi and see if I could bring that picture up for that sweet foxy lady who's sicker than I am. Uh, I, I found this phone in the drawer. I don't throw none of my phones away. I like to bring my Samsung up, but it's locked. Samsung locked it. And I see if I can bring that picture up. I haven't used this phone in probably 3 or 4 years. And see if I can get it to even work. Midnight Blue Forest. Midnight Blue Forest. Oh, it's Midnight Blue Hearts. Hostess HOSTA. Okay. See, the midnight blue thing is on the, I guess this is it. There's the rainbow colors. And that's what it looks like. It's about, here, that's a better. See, that's what the blue midnight is. Prominent, rare hosta, Hosta. And Foxy Lady is, that's what it looks like. And I think they're beautiful. Let's see. Here is, I think, but people, they look nice. They even got some, it's red, white, and blue. I think they call that Patriot. And I think these is cute too. But I got, I guess, a sister to it. It's all green. They got lavender, green jungle, rose green, the purple beauty. The rainbow ones, you get 2,000 or 4,000 seeds. You know, I think at midnight, you know, is very good. It's in the Hosta family, and they come up every year. The green ones I got, they come up every year, and so I think $15 is real cheap. But Foxy Lady, I don't know if you can get it down there in your neighborhood at Walnut Ridge Nursery. I don't know if they carry them or not. So I showed you what that midnight blue flower looked like. And I think next month I'm going to order me some seeds. They call it Midnight Blue Hearts. Midnight Blue Hearts. Remember that. Then you got the other one they call the Rainbow Color. I might order some of them. Let's see one it costs at Amazon. It could be higher, it could be cheaper. It's about $8, people. About what they cost. 210 seeds, flower seeds for shade gardens, long blooming plants, for ground cover and containers, ideal for shaded pathways and borders. I'll show you a better picture. This is on Amazon. You get over 200 seeds. Yeah. If I had the money right now, I would get it by Saturday, but I don't have the extra money. So they call it Midnight Blue Hearts, people. Here is one I call the Patriot one. Yeah, look at this. It's red, white, and blue. If you're a patriot, well, you can get it from Amazon. If you know how to get on Amazon, if you or say if you order it tonight from Amazon, you should get it by Saturday. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. And if you choose three selections, you save 5%, or 5 items, you save 8%. If you buy 10 or more, you save 10% more. And it said free delivery by Saturday, May the 30th on orders over $35. I'm not going to spend $35. If you're a Prime member, you get it by May the 27th. So they got a bunch of flowers. I got the, that's it, man, my arm hurts. See those green ones there? That's one I got. They come up every year. So it's they call it midnight blue hearts. People is what they call them. And if you like flowers, it comes up every year. Uh, Yeah, Amazon. That's where you order it from. Unless Walnut Ridge Nursery carries it, which you can check with Walnut Ridge Nursery and see if they carry them. Which I don't know if they do or not. Hello, Aglo. And give it a try. Because I see people that they go out and buy all kinds of flowers just for the summertime. And when it gets wintertime, they all die out. And I don't like flowers. I like flowers. It comes up every year. You're moving What, you giving your house to Luann? Because I know Gina has the other house. You have a whole lot of years. You got a whole lot of years in that house. You got a whole lot of memories in that house. If they offer you enough money to buy a house, I take it. And I guess you found you a boyfriend and going to move in with him. Well, make sure you get enough money. Make sure it's all clean, which I know you keep a clean house. And tell them everything that's wrong with it. How old the hot water heater, the furnace or heat pump, how old the roof is. You know, you know, be honest. Make sure you get a good real estate agent, and you know, okay, you gotta have your son move in with you. You could do that. You know, that's okay. Hey, girl, you better be nice, 'cause she's a mean lady. She's a mean lady, I tell you that. You know, would I have her move in with me right now? Okay, she gave me permission. She's my ex-wife. She's my ex-wife that I got married to in '78, I think. Yeah, '78 February, and she's a good cook, people. She's still good looking to this day. I ain't seen her for a couple of years. But as my mom and dad told me, I screwed up. My mom and dad love her to death. They love her to death. And you don't need to find out any more about me, Grove. If you don't watch it, She might get mad at you. I'm going to do something. It might be a mistake. That might be a mistake. She's a heck of a cook, Egg Loaf. I made her a moderator. Yeah, but, I wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect on this planet. And she was a sweet lady. She's still sweet. And, hey, when's the last time, Foxy Lady, you've been out to Monk Road? You know what's out there on Monk Road. I haven't been out to Monk Road for quite a few years. And, but I tell you, people, she is mean. If she don't like what you say, she will delete your comment, put your, I'm going to tell, start with the load term out. What is it, 5 minutes or something? People, we met at the Sports Drone Speedway in, I'm going to say Jeffersonville. It could be Jeff, it could be Clarksville. But when I worked there, it was Jeffersonville Sports Drone. And that's how we met. They had an old 40 something dump truck with a flathead six in it, standard transmission. It wasn't synchronized. And I had white pants and a red shirt. It had Sports Drone on it. And she was on the back stretch, what you call the back stretch of the Sports Drone. I can't swear to it, but I'm thinking she had a yellow T-shirt on. It had Foxy Lady on it. And when I was on the co-pilot side, riding on the bump by the door, and I saw her, I said, "Hey, Foxy Lady, I bet you're Foxy." And I guess the people are sitting there. But white pants at the Sports Zone, people, uh-uh. They got dirty quick. Because if she had a water spill, oil spill, rear end spill, you throw cement dust down to dry it up. And you get that concrete cement dust. Yeah, that's Foxy Lady. Because all ladies is Foxy, but that's number one Foxy Lady. That's how we met. And had that shirt on, and that's how we met in the summer of '78. And that's how we met. And we got married in '78, lived in my grandmother's house. We put up wallpaper, and at the time we done it, I think there was just one kid, I believe, and we put up this flower wallpaper. It was red, white, and blue. That way, if the kid or kids can mark on it, you can take soapy water and wash it out. And she was, and she was what they call a QMA. But when she worked in this one nursing home or retirement home, I don't want to get in trouble. Some people get on, and she, the nurses at the nursing home always ask her because she'd been there when she was going to high school. I think she'd been there since she was 16 years old. You don't know her, A Glove. You don't know her. And the nurses at this nursing home where she worked and all this, the nurses always asked her. She knew as much as nurses did back in those days. Then she went to another nursing home in Clarksville. A friend of mine was there. He kind of fell in love with her. I don't know if you remember Dennis Fox, Foxy Lady. You remember Dennis Fox? He was burned on his arms, and I believe he had black hair. And he liked her. Dennis is a good guy. I don't know if he played with her when he was young or somebody in the family burned him, But we was in classes together, Dennis and me was. But Foxy Lady, she worked in another nursing home. And you didn't mess around. She had, if my memory serves me right, she had to testify. Maybe it was a male nurse. And when they went to court or whatever, they pulled up in limousines, if I remember right. It's pretty good, Jacob, but man, the yard is still wet. I cut a little bit of grass and it clogged the lawnmower up. Every place you walk like you're on a sponge. I like nurses. You know, nurses don't get enough credit that's due to them. They do a lot, especially the ones that works in a hospital. When I had my heart attack, I think 17, 16, somewhere back there then. And if it wasn't for them good looking women nurses, I I probably would have been dead. The heart doctor, he's dead. He got his fingers in the cookie jar and went to federal prison for 42 months, and he died in prison. Him and a bunch of doctors in Kentucky got caught putting pacemakers into people who didn't need them. Knock on wood, you know, I don't know if you're a real nurse or not, you know. If it wasn't for those good looking nurses, I believe I would have been dead. Foxy Lady tell you, when I'm sick, I get grouchy, I flirt, especially always. And them nurses at the hospital, they took real good care of me. And I thank them nurses. I got my tail chewed out a few times, especially when I went into OR the next day. I went in on a Wednesday and went into surgery on a Thursday. They run that scope, you know, down by your growing area to see how much blockage you had. I had 40%, but I'm glad asked, you know, and what I did after I came out of surgery, and they put sandbags on me. I don't know if they stapled it or taped it, or I can't remember. It's been too long ago. And and they came in there. It seemed every 10 or 15 minutes, lift the sandbags off to see if I guess I was bleeding. And finally, they took it off. They said you could sit over in the chair or walk to the bathroom. Boy, I got out of that bed and I started walking the hallways. And them nurses got all over me. I kind of like cream soda. I tried Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Oh boy, that is raunchy. But I don't drink Mountain Dew every day. Somebody who drinks Mountain Dew every day, that'd probably be the same. And I started walking the hallway because I wanted to get out of the hospital. One goes in the rear end and the other one goes here. Or they use the one, they just hold it up there, and take it. And they jumped all over me. Said, I said you could get out of the bed, sit in the chair, and go to the bathroom. I didn't say you could walk the hallway. I said the quicker I can get better, the quicker I can get out of here. I don't like hospitals. My dad died in the hospital. My grandpa died in the hospital. I just don't like hospitals. And and I just don't like hospitals. I think of nurses. Everybody should thank a nurse for their service. And I asked him nurses. I said, you might think it's a silly question, but RM told me the same thing. The reason they wake you up, people, when you're in the hospital to take your blood pressure is some people want to come up fighting. That's why they wake you up to take your blood pressure, unless you're in a coma. Then they can't wake you up. But them nurses were nice. They even would come in there and sit with me and talk to me. I was an old man. I'm still an old man when I had my heart attack. And I appreciate what them nurses did. But people, I told you, I got a bullet in me. I want to make it a point. It was not Foxy Lady who shot me back in 80, 85, 86, 86, I think. It wasn't her that shot me. She's up in heaven, my other ex-wife. And I probably would listen to you now. You know, I would listen to you now because I'm you worse off than I am medical wise. But you know about heart attacks and strokes. You know I'm not going to argue. I can't get upset because you know what it would do. It would cause me to have a heart attack and stroke. And I don't want none of them. I done had 4 heart attacks, people. This last one, I was lucky. Yeah, it was 86. It's a long story, but she's dead. She's up in heaven. She died of cancer. And, but I'm not getting into that. Yeah, I think you are. I don't know if the one from New Albany is still alive. I guess she's dead. That's Lynn. She was from New Albany. I guess she's dead. I guess. I don't know. If I could ever make it to the Harvest Homecoming parade on Saturday, I could probably. It was 1986 there, Jacob, when I got shot. That's how come my back hurts. That's how come my back hurts. That's how come my back hurts. I got shot right here. I had a white t-shirt on. and all I had was a spot of blood on my white t-shirt. I was bleeding inside. Got shot with a 22 long rifle pistol. No, she shot me in the front. She shot me right here, the way she shot me. And the bullet went in. People, that's one thing, if you don't know about bullets, 22s, they bounce around. They bounce around. It done all kinds of damage here, intestines, all this. Well, at the time, that dead wife, she's dead, she was pregnant with my son. And I think she was 18 when we got married. She liked older guys because her second husband was older than me. He was alcoholic. He's dead, but they had a son. And he's a drug addict and alcoholic, but I don't know if he's still drinking or do drugs or what. But lived down there in Jeffersonville in some apartments, which I ain't gonna mention. And my son's baby brother is in the Army. He's a helicopter mechanic. He's a a-hole. As soon as he graduated high school, he went into the Army. He wanted to get away from his brothers, his mom, his dad. Did find out that he told his older brother that his dad slept with his wife. They got a divorce because he don't have nothing to do with his dad. I saw his dad today, and he's a con artist. He'll con a lady out of anything, and he says he's a preacher. Yeah, I put this shirt on because I was going somewhere. Usually I wear the same shirt because I always put a shirt on. I just told you, Egg Loaf, she was pregnant. She wanted to have an abortion. That's why. I had a Datsun pickup truck, standard transmission, blue, with a topper on it. And I carried a gun in my truck. The bullets was in the ashtray. The gun was behind the seat. The gun was empty. When I got out of the hospital, I asked the cop, I said, was the bullets in the gun or the ashtray? He said, you had 6 bullets in the ashtray and the gun was loaded. But, she was pregnant. She was good. She was a Hank Williams Jr. fan. Her mom and dad, they was mad at me. Because my son's grandmother, Judy, she couldn't cook. She didn't know how to cook. It was always her cooking. When my son moved in to take care of his grandma and grandpa, he had to learn how to cook and and all this. He does cook, but he buys his food. He eats his food. I buy my food. But he don't like what I Yes, you do. She did. She figured if I died, she could go ahead and have an abortion. I don't, because she wasn't that smart. If she was smart, she wouldn't marry me. But we had a dog. This is how we found out she was pregnant. That dog, when we was at my grandma's house, the dog wouldn't let me get in bed. If I go to get in bed, he tried to bite me. And I told her that she was pregnant. Said, "No, I'm not." And that's who my son's doctor is. Where he's retired. He delivered my son. I think her other kids, I believe. And you know, he didn't want to get on the backside of my son's mother either. And some women when they get pregnant, they get the big belly. Her, she wore the same pants even up to 9 months. We was on the way to the hospital in New Albany. Took the State Street exit. I blew the engine up in the car. That's true. The dog would not let me in bed with her. And that was a good dog. Just like when me and Foxy Lady got a divorce. We didn't fight over the kid. We fought over the dog. And that dog was full-blooded German Shepherd. And the family only sells them to the police department. He was a smart dog. You could not yell at those kids. You couldn't raise your hand up. If you go out and try to water the flowers, the dog would come up and try to bite the water. And that dog died happy. He went to Witten Brothers. They need a good security dog. The first night they let him out, people was climbing over the fence and taking batteries out. Put it that way, they didn't get no batteries. They lost a shirt. And I stopped in there. I said, "You see that shirt over the fence?" Said, "Yeah." The dog took it off of him. And they took good care of him. They built him a new cage. No, I've got custody of the dog, but Charlie died like a king. Witten Brothers took care of him. They had a big fancy dog house. During the day when it was hot, they brought him inside for the air conditioning. They had visitors there one day. Said, who's he barking out to? The UPS man. I guess the UPS must have done something to the dog. But he was a good watchdog. Me and my son went down there one night to feed him. And this dumb blankety blank cop who I went to school with, and he wasn't that good a cop. He loved to drink alcohol when he was working. And he showed up, said, "You can't be here." I said, "I got permission from the owner." I said, "That's my job." He said, "No, it's not. It's theirs." I said, it's my dog, so-and-so. I said, get to the fence. Get up there and I'll show you. I called his name. I said, sick him. Boy, he about ready to climb over that fence to get to him. And he said, it is your dog. I said, yeah. I raised him from the puppy, me and my ex-wife. I said, act like you're going to hit me or hit my son. You really see what he would do. And he was a good watchdog. And I told them people, who's going to feed him or let him out of the cage. I had to take him over there to introduce him to the dog. And I was standing right there. He let him out and he smelled him and all that. And from thereafter, he was a good dog. They didn't steal no more batteries out of those trucks. And you all know how mean raccoons are. About every day they found a dead raccoon. That dog killed every raccoon that came on that property. That was his territory. And I told them people, when you're out there with your kids, do not yell at your kids. Don't raise your hand at the kids, or he's going to nail you. He's protected of kids. That's how we train him. And I said, be careful when you got the water hose. Because you squirting and washing your car, or your trucks, or anything like that, he'll come up there and try to bite that water. I said, you got to be careful. But instead of a small can of apple, they got the biggest can of apple they can get. They spoil it. They said, I see old man Witten every once in a while. I think he's still alive. He was last year. He said that was the best watchdog he ever had on that property. It cut his theft down. Yeah, Rusty was what, a brown or orange dog. Then there was Susie. And what was that little Chihuahua? I forget what his name was, but Rusty, I miss Rusty. I miss the black and white dog, but he ran away. I know why he did it, because she was dying, and she ran away to die someplace else. But I wish I would. Rusty is a good dog. No, oh, I think the black and white one was Susie. I think the Chihuahua. I forget what his name, but thanks to my blankety blank brother who's kidnapped him, because that little Chihuahua did not like my brother. My brother broke into the house through the basement. He came up the steps, and that Chihuahua nailed him. He stole my little Chihuahua. But God to take care of him. Like I said, my brother's not perfect. He's a thief. He stole from me. He stole from my mother. He didn't go by the will. He, oh, he did. I thought he just died. But, that house, it ain't got the concrete thing in the middle of the road before you get into the garage driveway. It don't have it there no more. I bet 2-1 the city dug out that marker. I wouldn't bet 2-1 they done that. But Rusty was a good dog. I know Susie didn't get hit by a car. She she ran away from home and died. I know that exactly. I guess she went up to the cemetery or into the cemetery woods and died. That's what animals do, people. Dogs, cats, or any kind of pet you got. That's what they do. But when that German Shepherd died, people, Witten Brothers bought a casket, and he was laid in the casket, and probably in a concrete vault. I think that's what he told me, but he was buried just like a human. They loved that dog. I might have to turn the air conditioner on tonight, 'cause it's getting hot in here. Oh, little Dizzy there. True, that's little Dizzy spell. I forgot all about Rusty. Did we have a kitty cat too? 'Cause I was thinking we had a kitty cat. I'm thinking we had a kitty cat. But people, it been over 40 years ago. I think we had a kitty cat. We had dogs and probably one or two kitty cats. I think we did have kitty cats, two female cats. Because mom and dad had two of those cats. They was cousins, Pumpkin and Tiny. Pumpkin was my dad's kitty cat. Every Sunday or when he goes to bed, he would say, "Come on, Pumpkin, let's go to bed." Dad would go to the bedroom, lift Pumpkin up on the bed. He slept with Dad and Mom. And Tiny, that was Mom's kitty cat. When Dad got sick, we snuck Pumpkin in to the hospital. When he died in April of '92, that was on a Sunday. Pumpkin knew that he was in heaven. She lasted 1 week after Dad passed away. And I had to bury that kitty cat. Mom's cat lived be 20 some odd years old, just like Pumpkin. But Pumpkin died of a broken heart. It sounds like that train's going north. And people, I love kitty cats. We had Blue Boy, Lucky, and another cat. When my brother had me arrested to get me out of the house, I don't know what he done. Those was my cats too. And Blue Boy, he was a great tomcat. He could talk human. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but he could talk human. He would sit there by mom or me. He'd look up at mom and he'd go, out, out. And mom said, did you hear him? He said, what did he say? Out. I said, you're right, mom. And he went out. And it was hot one day, and Blue Boy got too much heat. He almost died, almost with a heat stroke. I thought it was just humans that get heat stroke, but animals get heat stroke too. So I put him down in the basement with water and canned food, and he stayed down in the basement because the basement, even in the summertime, it's always cool in the basement. That's how come if you're going to build a house with a basement in there. You know, you got a place to go during a tornado, windstorm. It's always around 68, somewhere in that category. And after a few days, he came upstairs. I asked Blue Boy, you want to go outside? He wouldn't go outside. Because that heat stroke he had, he didn't want to go outside. You figure when it gets cold outside, that he would go outside. He would not go outside in the wintertime. He stayed in the house. And Lucky, she was a calico cat that I found at McDonald's in the garbage can. I knew Mom would keep it, took him up her own, and the cat jumped up on your lap. And Mom said, what are we going to name you? Said, you just one lucky cat. When she said lucky, that cat went, meow. I said, you want your name to be Lucky? Meow. That's what, she chose her own name. And, she was a good kitty cat. Mom loved her to death. Sometimes Blue Boy or Lucky would get there by her chair and reach over and get petted. And, well, in here I got one yellow one, or orange one. That's Kathy. And let's see, Alexi, Margaret, and Alex. They're kind of striped. kind of black, yellow, they're kind of striped. And I hope you don't get mad at me, but when Kelly had her babies, one, I guess two of them died because she got two, a black one and one that looked like Alexi. Her name is Betty. I named that female cat after you. Another kitty cat out there, I'm gonna get shot either way. And I named that cat Gina after my daughter. And like one cat in the house, her name is Alex. That's Margaret's firstborn litter cat. And Kathy, her second litter firstborn. And Alex, I named after my other daughter. And Kathy is named after one of my girlfriends. She's dead. She died maybe 2, 3 years ago. I think she was a diabetic. She lost her legs, I think. Her husband passed away. Then she met somebody else and she died. You know, will I ever get married again? The answer is no. I might live with them, but I don't want to get married. Besides that, if me and Foxy Lady was to get back together, I'm not going to say it's going to happen. It's only up to God. And she'd kill me. I guarantee you, she would kill me. She would chew my rear end out. I'm cleaning my house up little by little. And I'm trying my best. With my health problems, there's only so much I can do. I, like I say, I think Betty is the only one left. Mary's dead. Nope, 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 nope. You forgot about Alex's mother. She's still alive. The, the crazy bee lady and a liar. But she'll get what's coming to her. God to take care of her. So I got two left. Would I take Alex's mother back? I would have to be out of my mind. I would take that a-hole back. Betty would be 50-50. You know, we would have to talk, set rules up, and I know what she does every Saturday. I wish I could go every Saturday. I miss that place. But I just don't have the money to go every week. Even with the senior citizen discount and the veteran discount, I just don't have the money to spare to go every Saturday. I like to go when they have school bus races. People, if you got a figure-8 track in your area or oval track, probably figure-8 would be better. and you see those school buses go through that X, that shows you how safe those school buses are. And they do turn over. They got no glass in it, no headlights, no glass, no windshield. You know, it's fun watching school bus races. And it's a racetrack. I would love to go every week. And when that company, they rented the dirt track up there at Scottsburg. They ran maybe once or twice a month. I went every time they had the dirt races. I love watching them dirt races. That's what separates the men from the boys or the ladies from the girls. But I wish they would do the dirt races. Yeah, there is a reason. There is a reason, people, but but we would, any women, we would have to talk. If it's younger or the same age, we would have to talk. We have to see if we like car races, NASCAR, what kind of music, you know. We would have to talk. What do we expect from each other? There is no alcohol or drugs or no smoking. So, but you new moderators, before you put somebody in timeout, start out, 5 minutes, whatever it is, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, start out with that. And there's some of them that puts them in timeout 24 hours. And I had a complaint from a few people that sent me an email. They got blocked from my YouTube channel. And people, you see a little short video of the memorial service. And I don't know when YouTube upload the whole video. That's just maybe a minute of highlights. You get to see the whole video when YouTube uploads it. And I got to take my medicine tonight. I got to. Because my arthritis in this shoulder is getting to me. And I got medicine, I guess I pick up tomorrow. What is it? ISO. That's one thing. My CVS app ain't working. They not doing anything to fix it. I can't find out which medicine it is, and I can't find out. I have to wait until tomorrow because I'm not going that way until tomorrow sometime. If it don't rain again, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. 85%. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm glad I don't live in the HOA because, man, they'll find me out my rear end. Because it's over 4 inches, 5 inches, somewhere in that category. And I don't like my grass that tall. And if it don't rain tomorrow, I will cut some more grass. I'll probably cut my front yard. I cut some of that back there by the shed, where I can walk back to the shed. And probably cut some over there on the west side, where this guy would have to turn around in his pickup truck on the trailer. I think I text him tomorrow. Tell him my grass is getting tall. I really need that lawnmower. But I know when he's sick, you don't bug him. 'Cause that really makes him mad. He's worse than a woman. I try to explain it to my new moderator. If you don't follow the rules, you're going to get time out. You know, I know there's a lady that I watch every day. She's in California. She don't put you. She don't put you in time out. She just blocks you. She don't put up with no crap. I say that lady probably 30s. I would guess. I might make her feel happy. You know. I thought I was mean. You know. As long as everybody follows the rules, you won't get time out. That's how come I got a whole lot of ladies on here. I got kids with their parents and their guardian on here. I got my real grandkids on here. They might not live in the United States, they're in Canada, but that's okay. I got around in my younger days. And, you know, but as long as you follow the rules, you don't have to worry about it. I don't like trolls. Trolls, all they do is cause problems. They want to argue with you. I'm not going to put up with people arguing, saying certain words. I'm not going to put up with it. And that's how I run my YouTube channel. What's your question? So what did I eat tonight? White House Drive. That must be down there on Utica Pike, down there by Jeff Boat. Lighthouse Road. That sounds about where it is, down there by Jeff Boat. And nobody will get time out if they follow the rules. No cussing, no hate crimes, no gay stuff. You know, as long as you follow the rules, you won't get time out. And somebody using fancy young terms that us old people don't know, but I got moderators who's young and know the terms. And they usually will block you 24 hours. I get texts of what those words are. Only some of my moderators got my phone number, got my home address that I know that I could trust. Well, Foxy Lady don't have my phone number. She never have asked for it. And I ain't putting it out over the internet. I need to do like this one YouTuber. Get like a prepaid phone and use that for text messages. But I just don't have the extra funds for it. I would do that. But my regular phone, I'm not going to do it. I get so many spam calls. I'm going to have to start doing like this one video. You all seen on YouTube. The guy answers the phone and says, Smith's Mausoleum or something, make you hang the phone up. I'm going to have to start doing it because I'm getting all these spam calls and I'm on a federal and state no call list. I tell you how they get around it, people. They spook their numbers. So you call the number back, it's no longer in service. They do it all the time. What you do when you see your own phone number pop up in a text, or, it don't make no sense. They used to have an app that you can put your phone number in. I've done that a few times. I put a police department in it. When I called this one idiot, he saw that was a certain police department. And didn't have to worry about him no more bugging me. Oh, everybody, I hope you didn't forget today Memorial Day. I hope you went to the cemetery or wherever you go on Memorial Day and celebrate Memorial Day. There's a whole lot of veterans in the cemetery. My grandpa, Roberts, he was in the Spanish-American War. You can look up the Spanish-American War and you can find out when it was. I can't think off the top of my head. Maybe early no, not maybe 18 something. I don't know. history's been a long time for me. And if I be on here tomorrow night, I don't know. But the way the weather's talking, probably won't. Because I got to keep my phone plugged in where I can watch my weather on my phone. Because every time we get bad weather, the electricity goes out or the internet goes out. And that's one thing you all got to think about. If I'm not on here, the internet's out, the lights is out, or I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping. And I hate to take that medicine. I take 10 to 15 pills a day. Foxy Lady takes over 20 a day. She takes more pills than I do. And one of her pills I don't take anymore. Because the doctor stopped that one pill. And but I want you all to thank a nurse for the service. And I forgot about the QMA that works in a nursing home. I guess they got QMA that works in the hospital. I don't know. And I forget, they got other people that works in the hospital. I guess they still do. Is what they call candy stripers. They them too. So I wish they put new Hudson and Rex videos on. I'd go back watching Hudson and Rex, but they fired him because he had cancer. I don't like movies or TV shows that won't stand behind their their acting people. So and I still want you all to send prayers out to Cal Bush's family. Send prayers out to Cal Bush's family. Leaves behind a wife and a son and a daughter, I believe. And his son said, I don't know if it was with NASCAR or what, that he is going to drive his daddy's race car and his number. And I saw a video. I don't know how they done it. The M&Ms were standing next to Cal Bush's car and crying. That I don't know how they got those M&Ms to cry. I guess that was AMI. Okay, sweetheart, you missed me yet? You missed me, Foxy Lady. And when you sell your house, I would buy you should buy some gold and silver and maybe have a safety deposit box, invest in gold and silver. And so, people, you all have a good night. Sweet dreams. Dream about your loved ones. And do I dream about Foxy Lady? No, because God hasn't let me dream about her. You know, if I was dreaming about Foxy Lady, it'd probably show you what my future was. And I probably wouldn't be happy. And I gotta get up because I gotta get off of here. I don't know how long I've been on here. Alex is in here and Lex is in here. The rest of us out in the front room. Yeah, it's time to get off of here. The Foxy Lady gotta get her beauty sleep. Ouch. Boy, you tell if you miss your pain medicine, you know it. So, people, good night. I love you. You all have a great evening. School is almost out. Graduation. And all the 2026 graduate, congratulations if you're high school or college or the Navy Academy. Congratulations on your graduation. I love you. Peace. Catch you all later.